And that was Space Quest 3.
It wasn't Space Quest 2.
Woohoo! We are halfway through the saga of Roger Wilco. As I said previously, Space Quest 3 was the first game that I played in the Space Quest series, and it'll always kind of hold a special place in my heart for that. I like it a lot more than 1 and 2 because it feels more open, even if it isn't necessarily, because you have different planets you could visit, and while we kind of went straight through the story, you can go to the planets in different orders. I'm pretty sure you can blow up the thing on Ortega before you even find out about the moon of Pestilon. Because I'm pretty sure that's what happened when my friend Rennie and I decoded the message. Then we hit the scanner, and all of a sudden there was Pestilon. And we were like, we didn't have to spend 20 minutes writing down that message. We just had to go to the new planet. You can also leave. You can land on the planets, look around, and then leave. Maybe finish half a puzzle and go somewhere else. So it feels like there's a lot more freedom. It feels like you have a universe to explore, which back in the early 90s was a pretty rare feeling in a video game.
Yeah, it was nice to have choices.
And we got to have our own sweet ship.
Yeah.
Nice little starship battle.
Now we're stuck in a black hole.
Now we're stuck in the Earth dimension. Although in 4, he's found his way back to his own dimension. Magically. The action sequences, like the space battle one at the end's kind of fun. I don't have a problem with that one.
No, that's fine.
Astro Chicken is not so bad. The robot fighting, I think, is probably the most irritating.
Yeah, that was really stupid. For having such a cool name.
I like the idea of the sequence, but I feel like it went on too long. Even if you know exactly what you're doing, it goes on too long. Astro Chicken wasn't bad. Although, if I was playing this game without a walkthrough, I don't know how long it would have taken me to figure out I need to beat Astro Chicken.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't keep track of your victories or tell you how close you are to winning. I had to beat it, 7 times? Something like that?
Mm-hmm.
It was weird.
But at least we had plenty of money at the end that we'll never see again.
Yeah. But I like it a lot. It's the last of the typing interface ones. From here on out, we're going strictly mouse-based for Space Quest. Space Quest 4 also has voice acting, so you don't have to listen to me come up with voices and then forget what they were.
Bonus for everyone involved.
Yeah. Space Quest 5 does not have voice acting, but that's a story for another time.
Like Space Quest 5.
Yeah, that'd be a good time for that story, really, chronologically. What did you think about Space Quest 3?
Well, after surviving Space Quest 2, it was way better. So that was fun. Like I said, having the planets made it feel more like you're exploring, even if it's not a sandbox. But it's nice. The illusion is there. The graphics improved a lot.
And they're going to improve a lot more in 4.
How much time passed between 2 and 3?
I'm not sure off the top of my head, but it's... I know based off the engines, the game design engine that they used for 1 and 2 was used for, obviously, a lot of the early Sierra games. I think King's Quest 1 through 3 used that same engine. Leisure Suit Larry 1 used that engine. Then they jumped to the engine that we just used, which was like the advanced type interface where action froze, the graphics were better. That was Leisure Suit Larry 2, King's Quest 4. They didn't use it that long before they jumped over to using the mouse controls for everything, which really makes it a lot easier to play. Because you're not trying to figure out, how do I phrase this?
What is this thing? Thing doesn't work?
Device? Object? Okay. How do I type that I want him to look inside that panel? Do I call it a panel? Do I call it a cover? No, you just click the I. And I feel like there's probably a lot of jokes missing that we don't get to see that were programmed into these early games because we didn't know what to look at. Like the bow tie fighter thing. If I had not been facing that ship and typed look ship, we wouldn't have gotten that joke. Whereas with the I, I feel like it would have been a lot more inclined to just go, oh, let me just click the I on that and see if anything pops up.
Everything.
Yeah. So you'll get a lot more of the humor. And 4 also, since we're coming up to 4, and this is kind of the intro for 4, 4 does something that I really like. They do a lot more meta humor about the series because it's a time travel story. Except instead of visiting the future or the past necessarily, Roger actually visits future Space Quest games and past Space Quest games. You can go back to Space Quest 1. There's actually an Easter egg where you go back to Space Quest 3. Unfortunately, it's Ortega and you don't have magic underwear, so you die.
But you get to go. So
You get to go to Space Quest. I think it's 12 is the latex babes of Phobos. Oh no, the latex babes of Esteros, which is actually a reference to the leather goddesses of Phobos, which is a real game, for the record. If you want to go look up the leather goddesses of Phobos 1 and 2, they are real games. They exist. The first one is a text adventure. It's all like Zork.
Sounds too hard.
Second one's got graphics.
Oh,
They're pretty
okay.
fun though. They had a unique method of determining, because you could play either gender, but they don't tell you that at the beginning. They just start you out in front of 2 restrooms and tell you desperately need to pee.
Huh.
And whichever restroom you choose to go into, that's your gender.
That's cool.
It was kind of neat. But we're not playing those. We're playing Space Quest 4.
Maybe next time.
I am very, very bad at the beginning of Space Quest 4. Anytime I tried to play it without a walkthrough, I died a lot, very quickly, very early. So the very first parts of Space Quest 4 are going to be a little nerve-wracking for me because I am horrible at them. And then there is a very infamous sequence in the Mall of the Future. It's the Skatorama sequence. I've mentioned it in previous videos. I'm already sorry. I apologize in advance.
Oh, good. Can't wait.
It's one of those where if you don't do it exactly right, you die a lot. It is super easy to die. You're trying to escape blaster fire. It is super easy to die. It is super hard to do it. I'll either do it in 5 seconds or 20 minutes.
But it's gonna be 5 seconds for you.
Yeah, we'll fix the edit for you guys. Rachel, on the other hand, will have to suffer.
Yay.
Suffering has become Rachel's penance in this series, I think.
That's what I'm here for.
Anyway, I think we've blathered on long enough.
You have.
Are you looking forward to Space Quest 4?
Not after that.
Better graphics,
Voice acting.
voice acting,
Okay.
new interface,
We'll give it a try.
time travel jokes,
Time travel jokes.
the return of Sludge Vohall, our greatest enemy. We haven't seen him in a whole game. We'll see you guys back on Xenon.